Hello, everybody. Ryno here with another trending thread from DISboards.com. And this thread today is titled Of Everything That's Disappeared and was started by poster Fire Manx, who asks the question, out of everything Chapek is getting rid of or cutting, which are you happiest you got to see? Hoop-de-doo for me. How about you? I think that's a fair question and honestly a really good answer. I love Hoop-de-doo. Hoop-de-doo is a show I am really sad to see go and hope to see it return someday, but I do understand that it doesn't really work currently with the pandemic and the health and safety restrictions that Disney is utilizing, so hopefully someday that comes back, but I will say I am very happy I had the opportunity to attend the show the amount of times that I did. So poster Deb Loves Pooh says, we enjoyed the shows so much. I'm glad we got to see them and have those laughs. Laugh Floor, Turtle Talk, and Hoop-de-doo. I hope they'll be back eventually. Chris Benton says, honestly, all of them. I'm not going back until the Epcot street shows, Hoop, and Festival of the Lion King return. I'm guessing there are lots of people that are unaware that a lot of smaller live performances even exist and just happen upon them. I think many of the live performances are underrated and overlooked for rides, which is understandable, but there are many performances that are better than some of the rides and add a ton of value towards the price of admission, in my opinion. Many of the performances are fantastic, in my opinion. Festival of the Lion King, Sergio, Savor, Amusant, Chinese acrobats, and many more. I definitely just skated over that Savor Amusant word. I am probably not pronouncing that right, but I do apologize. BB Condon agrees with Chris, saying, absolutely almost everything but Hoop-de-doo and Epcot street shows and Voices of Liberty are my favorites. How can Disney keep taking away the entertainment aspect of Disney World? We are limited by the reservation system and not being able to go to more than one park a day. Happiest Place in the World isn't very happy anymore. I'm a DVC owner and annual pass holder who likes to go to Disney about 6 times a year. With travel restrictions and all that Disney has taken away from us, is it worth it? Let alone all the people that have and will lose their jobs. Sad, sad times. Everyone keep safe and healthy. I'll be wishing upon a star that this situation and Disney World's future will be brighter and happier than it is right now. The Epcot shows really actually seem to be a really popular choice among posters in this thread, to be honest with you. And poster Wendy's Off to Neverland said, my favorite would be the Epcot street shows. I'll be very sad if they don't eventually bring them back. It was part of what made Epcot so wonderful for me. I like the uniqueness Epcot World Showcase added, and I would be disappointed if it just becomes a themed place to buy food and drink. I completely understand that sentiment. It becomes essentially a giant shopping center with food and drinks. Yeah, there's not a ton. I mean, there's the individual attractions, but it's not a lot. It needs a little bit of that ambiance. But I also have to agree with Susan DK, who says, we will most miss the Epcot concerts during Flower and Garden and Food and Wine. We are local, so love to go over for just a couple of hours, see a concert, get a beer and popcorn, and maybe do Soarin'. It also gave us lots of steps because we'd power walk from the main parking lot to the American Pavilion for the concert, then walk the opposite way around the world back to the exit. Also like to stop in the UK and Canada for the live music when they had it. I really hope those concerts come back once it's safe to do so. Those, and like she said, the food and wine ones were the ones I always looked forward to the most, because you never tell like what acts they're going to get, and they always get kind of some random ones that you might love and ones that are like usually on tour or something. And the fact that it was included with admission or your annual pass was always so great too. And it's just something, they add so much energy to the park and especially to that area. Poster Boo Puff says, the thread is exactly why I'm putting off return to Walt Disney World. For the money of a Disney vacation, expect a full-on entertainment experience. I'm a big fan of the shows and small character interactions. Darcy03231 agreed with Boo Puff, saying, I feel the same way. I canceled our September trip and have no plans to go back until things return to a semblance of normal. I am sure that is going to put a lot of people off, honestly, a lot of these shows going off. I feel like there's a lot of people that say, well, there are just a ton of offerings still, and there are. And Disney, nobody does attractions quite like Disney, you know. Like the theme parks in Orlando, in Anaheim, around the world, all these places But when I was a kid, I personally didn't do many rides. I was very scared, too scared. But I love to watch the shows. Characters always scared me too, and it's honestly amazing that I'm sitting here right now, still with us all. But I think about my grandma, and she's not a ride person either, and she never really was that much. So there's not a ton to justify the purchase of a ticket. And with that said, I think that's kind of the sort of situation that Disney is stuck in right now. It's not necessarily something I'm holding against them, because if with the health and safety guidelines they can't be doing these Streetmosphere shows, that's one thing. But if they can and they're just choosing to lay these people off, that's another thing. Not being able to appeal to as many sectors or quadrants of the public or of people that they have before the pandemic is really the situation that they are stuck in. And it might be that way for some time too. I know a lot of people are missing shows like Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo, but from this thread, it really seems like there's a lot of those little touches, that the atmospheric shows that people are going to miss. I know it might not seem like a huge deal to get rid of just this one performer here, this little show here, but I think about a Disney park without any background music. It'd still be the park, right? But it would feel off. It's that sort of thing that's kind of starting to happen with these shows and the things that aren't happening, right? So more and more of these little touches are going, and the atmosphere is kind of continually getting chipped away. I know it'll be some time before Disney gets back to normal in terms of operating capacity, and honestly, it could be years. But I really think that people might need to start letting go of the idea of a Walt Disney World normal. A lot of these things will probably never come back. We know that we have to accept the new normal in our everyday lives right now, but it's about accepting that our fantasy normal might be changed as well. And it's a tough thing to wrap your mind around. Sadly, more often than not, you never really get to say, you never really know when something you love or a person you love will be gone forever. We don't always get that one last time with them. And we have to try to not take the places, the things, and honestly, above all, the people we love for granted. Don't spend today obsessing over yesterday and thinking about tomorrow. Spend today, this moment, right here, this moment, in this moment. Enjoy it. Savor it. And I didn't mean to take that deep turn there, but I do feel like that's kind of a thing that we need to really just stop for a second. Stop and smell the roses. People always say that stuff, but it really is like pause. And I know we're just really trying to push forward, get to, the next thing, try to get back to normal, but like, don't lose today because of that push forward. Sometimes it's hard to stop and just breathe and just think, here I am in this moment, and just let a minute be a minute and think about that minute and that time. And if you're at a Disney park, stop somewhere that you love, that you're happy to be back, and do that, and appreciate what we have right now, because who knows what's next to go. And that's kind of why I like this thread too, because I like that the question really was, out of everything that Chapek is getting rid of or cutting, what are the happiest that you got to see? It wasn't what'll be the saddest that you see to go. It was what is the happiest that you'll get to see. So take that happy note and take that with you. So enough. We're not here for therapy. We'll do that separately. But yeah, there's a bunch more postings in here. Like I said, people really are missing a lot of those smaller shows. So I'm sure you out here watching this video and listening to me right now have some things that you're missing, like a time when you weren't listening to me. No, I'm just playing there. But if you want to weigh in and give us your opinion and get in on this conversation, I would recommend heading over to DISboards.com. You're going to find this thread in the theme parks, attractions, and strategies forum. A ton of other threads in there too, if this one doesn't do it for you. But and if you enjoyed this video, even just a little bit, I'd ask that you hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. We have tons of content on here, so if the DISboards video isn't for you, you're probably going to find another one. So, and when you are planning your next Disney vacation, please consider using Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts. It costs you nothing extra to book with Dreams, and you help support the channel and all the content that we do produce. So thank you, everybody, for your time. Thank you for listening to me. I hope that you all have an incredible day, and I will see you next time.